Very good morning. It's Mark here, going on 8 a.m. Eastern, Friday, 30th of May. That'll be going on noon GMT. US session about to get underway. Let's see how the markets are shaping up. US dollar index, big sell-off yesterday, and today fighting back again, sitting within this range at support 99.05. I've got resistance 99.58. So certainly starting off on the front foot. We'll see once the US session gets underway whether that can be maintained, whether buyers can break above this resistance area. Alternatively, whether sellers do step in once the US session gets underway and look down at the support area around 99. But US dollar starting off on the front foot as the US session is about to get underway. Let's have a look at the S&P. Pretty flat, slightly up. You can see that. Yesterday we had a doji, real uncertainty in the equity markets yesterday. S&P finished slightly up, as did Nasdaq and the Dow, but pretty flat. And today, not much to talk about. I've got support sitting at 5,890, resistance 5,922. Buyers will be looking at that 6,000 level. That's the level that they'll want to get to. Touched it yesterday, but couldn't maintain. Sellers, of course, looking to trade below the 5,900. And lots of uncertainty surrounding Trump's retaliatory tariffs, which in the beginning they were the court ruled that they could not stand up, weren't legitimized. Then after that, higher courts said that they can be upheld. So at this point, I guess they are in effect, but certainly that uncertainty is enough to unsettle the markets. We'll see how on the last day of the week, last day of the month, how that plays out once Wall Street opens up, and that'll be in an hour and a half. Let's have a look at gold. Gold definitely being sold off today. Have a look how this descending trend line has certainly held up, has tried it again today, and that's at resistance at 3,323. You can see over the last 3 days, that's been a tough level for buyers to break above. Sellers so far are in control. Support already established at 3,286, below that 3,300 pivotal level. Again, this could be dictated to the direction of gold, could depend on the US dollar today. Weak US dollar, strong gold, strong US dollar, weak gold, and that's what it looks like to start off the US session. That's what we're looking at right now. Let's look at Brent oil. Also interesting, I've drawn in this descending trend line, which it tested a few times. Yesterday went way higher and then came all the way back down. Look at the red candle, closed below the descending trend line. Today, testing that trend line as we speak, going into the US Open. Resistance 63.95, so above, so 64 and above will take price action above the descending trend line. And resistance, sellers will look to come below and push below the 64 area where we are right now, come back to the open at 63.33, and I've got support at 62.95. That's just below the 63 level, but that 63 level, and it happened again today, has proved a really strong floor and a strong support, and buyers have bounced off there pretty much throughout the week. We'll see how that plays out as well. And then let's look at Bitcoin, which had been sold off strongly over the past 3 days. Might fight back today, but also it's a lower high, lower low, even though it's a green candle. Support today all the way down at 104,500. It's a long way down, has bounced up off there, and buyers will be looking to test today's resistance, which is at just over 106,000, and a long way to go on the upside. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see the range we've been sitting in. has tested the support area twice around the 104,500, and buyers looking up at this 106,300 and higher. We'll see how that also plays out once the US session is underway. But certainly bias is down, trend is down, lower highs, lower lows on Bitcoin. Let's see if that fight back at some point. I'm expecting that buyers will step in. Let's see if that happens to be today. Good trading, and I'll see you at end of day session.